Hey, how's it going, dear viewers? It's AK here, and today the temperature is 40 degrees Celsius in the end of May. This is not exactly a common phenomenon, because 3 days ago it was around 15 to 20 degrees, and all of a sudden the temperature just rose to 40 and I'm being baked. Anyways, I'm back at the mall that I used to stay at about a year ago. And it's still pretty populated. Well, relatively speaking, I guess, despite this 40-degree weather. And my favorite thing about this area is the Walmart. Walmarts in China are pretty good. They sell a lot of good stuff, including groceries and appliances, at a fairly low price. But of course, this area is also pretty loud. That's one of the reasons I moved away from here. And it can get a little crowded and seriously congested because of an old mall that's just ahead. This is just a little bit surprising to me, because all the street vendors or peddlers are still around. Pretty sure they haven't even left. Okay. Florist, okay. Apparently they just got here based on the information gotten from their conversations. So I guess they weren't exactly baking in the sun for hours. They just got here and the temperature just dropped a little bit. I would say right now it's around 25 degrees Celsius, so it's definitely not bad. But when I was coming over this way about 40 minutes ago, it was scorching hot. It was definitely 40 degrees, if not worse than that. And here, this is the mall I was talking about, the old mall that's extremely crowded almost all the time, especially during dinners and lunches. It has a really wide selection of small food kiosks, a huge food court that is. And they sell everything extremely cheaply. That's why a lot of old people tend to come here. Moreover, since this is an old mall, it was built around 1995 or so, and it has been an integral part of this community for over 25 years now. But right now, it's still just a little bit before dinner time. Also, it's on a Sunday, so dinner time is pushed back even further. But still, you can see people gathering at the main entrance, trying to go inside. And they have fairly strict policies regarding entry. You have to scan the code to report your health conditions every time you want to enter. Basically, it's just one quick scan and that's it. You don't really need to fill in any information unless something has changed about the places that you have visited, because you have to scan this code for most circumstances, like whenever you're going into a mall or the subway or on a bus or a library or whatever. You have to scan the code, and if they find COVID cases on the train or on the in the mall or in the community, they're gonna report everything back to the authorities, and your code is going to change color. And what you can do is either wait for a week or 2 weeks and see if there's any other cases or if there's any symptoms. But for the most part, especially in Xi'an, there are no cases of COVID in Xi'an, essentially. Nothing that's local, at least. And on that note, foreign nationals are allowed to take the COVID vaccine in Xi'an now. They just started allowing foreigners to take the vaccine about a couple of days ago. Back a few more months, I think it was in March, that's when most of my family members got their shots. And now I think it's my turn. But I'm not quite sure if I should get the vaccine right now because of political and diplomatic reasons. It could be that I get the shots made in China with a Sinovac vaccine, and Canada refuses to recognize this vaccine as valid. So if I go back to Canada, I have to get yet another 2 shots. And that's kind of redundant, not to mention every shot you take, there is a slight risk involved, either contracting the disease or getting hit by side effects. We all know some of the side effects could be lethal, and since there are no COVID cases in Xi'an right now, I'm gonna just take the risk and wait until either Sinovac gets approved in Canada for sure, or if I have to get the vaccine. This here is called Wuxin Mi Pi Dian, and this is the most popular liang pi place or cold noodle place that I have ever seen in my entire life. This is generally how long the lineup is, around 20 or so people before the restaurant even starts to sell any of the cold noodles. And honestly, it's really good. It's definitely worth the wait. So if you're ever in Xi'an, you can visit this place called Wuxin Mi Pi Dian. And it's right outside Hepingmen subway station on Metro Line 4. As you can see right here, this is Hepingmen Line 4. 精彩新高度. This is how they translated it. I'm not really gonna comment on that. I already finished laughing. So here we are, Hepingmen, Heping Gate, and the Wall and Moat Park, with more street vendors selling cherries, locally produced, of course. Otherwise, they'll spoil within the day. Again, I think I've talked about the street vendors ad nauseum already. How they generally wake up at like 4 a.m. and get their goods into the city from the farms around the area and start selling their stuff, then return home at the end of the day. I'm really gonna miss the wall and the streets under the wall if I'm ever leaving Xi'an, which I will eventually. I was planning on going home right now. It's still pretty hot outside, but since I saw this alley, I decided that it's a good idea to just come inside and show my viewers around, so you can have a better idea of what Xi'an's downtown old town alleyways look like, even though I've already shown a few in my previous videos. So not all of the alleyways will have nicely paved roads. This one has definitely been fixed fairly recently. You can see by the concrete works. Some of them are patched up quite recently, especially right here in the middle. And they used to sell something here. It used to be a small restaurant or a family restaurant, one of these, but now I'm not quite sure if they still do business. It does look like they are open, but who knows, right? Again, rice noodles, I think I've had this shown in a few videos before, but if I didn't, now you know. And through this alleyway to the left, that's gonna be the city walls, which is to the south, and to the right, that would be north, and it leads to more alleyways around downtown Xi'an. 就想着要不然我干脆弄个双语视频得了，反正我这人吧，我懒得加字幕，因为不光加字幕、翻译，还有那个打时间轴，都麻烦的要命。基本上吧，10分钟的视频得耗差不多半天的时间才能把它搞好。唉，主要是时间轴真的可费事儿了，翻译真也就罢了，而且还可以就直接机翻。基本上像我说的这些内容也都挺简单的，直接机翻都不会有什么问题。再加上还有字幕生成器啊，所以弄起来应该还挺方便。 However, that's pretty much limited only to the what am I trying to think of? What's the word? It only works for one language at a time, so if someone's doing bilingual videos, could be a little tough. Anyways, again, they sell buns, steamed buns at around 8 cents American each, sometimes even cheaper, but probably not that one. And there are restaurants and stuff in the old alleyways. Most of the residents have been here for decades, if not generations. And even the convenience stores are fairly classic and are visited by the older population for most of the time. But my favorite spot in this alleyway is just ahead. So here we are. 五道巷, that is West 5th Alley. This here is a mosque. 南城清真寺, Southern City Mosque. And it's almost never open. The architecture is of a typical Chinese temple. However, it is definitely a mosque, and it's visited from time to time by the local Muslim population. I believe my family has come here from time to time. This is how it looks like from the other side. The entrance is usually closed, so I haven't really seen too many people going in or out. Probably just the imam's family live here now. But again, I'm not quite sure what's going on. And I don't feel like asking my family what's going on either. It's kind of complicated, my relationship with my family. But that's not exactly a good video topic. Since it's starting to get close to dinner time, the restaurants are starting to open one after another, as well as the groceries and butchers. Halal meat, clinic, hardware, more groceries, a couple of restaurants. This one sells steamed buns, more butchers and meat shops, hardware. It's pretty much the same everywhere. Every city's the same. The public service announcement truck just came over, telling people to ensure protecting their homes against fire hazards, stuff like that. Really nothing big. And I'm jaywalking by accident. This would seem like it's an electric bike store, but I think it's just where most of the delivery boys park their vehicles. Again, like I said, it's still before the dinner time rush. Oh my god, there's so much dust because of the construction. Anyways, it's still before dinner time, so the delivery boys are mostly on break. Continuing on, I just walked past the area with a lot of dust. A bunch of old people are playing Chinese chess. A bunch of shops under the Soviet-era apartment building. If I remember correctly, this building was built in the 70s or 80s. I could be wrong again. And the stores, there's telecommunication, there's... let me see, I can't see it. Okay, it's just clothing, never mind. And of course, rental agencies, beauty salons, and all that typical stuff. And right there, that's a locksmith, but they also fix shoes. Yesterday, I had my sandals fixed at one of these locksmith slash shoe repair places, and it costed me 40 cents US to replace one of the buttons on my shoe, and that of course includes labor and materials. So yeah, it's cheap to get these things done if you live in a old neighborhood. Prices of everything is low, so they are okay with keeping their service costs low as well. We are indeed in front of a recycling plant. I've shown you this recycling plant a long time ago, and I guess they are working on their recycling stuff right now. Probably because it's the afternoon of a Sunday. And this, ladies and gents, concludes my detour. I'm a little tired. And I'm gonna go back home to, I guess, play some video games and watch anime. Anyways, that's all for now. Hey, Kate, signing out.
넣으면